Ben, coming home, just what went into that decision? Sean kind of told us a little bit about how you got here, but get to come home, how did it all come about?
So I actually was planning on going back to my JUCO where these guys came from. But I mean, a coaching change really kind of pushed it to happen. But at the end of the day, I also kind of thought about it and was like, I kind of want to come back and represent my state. And I mean, that kind of pushed me to want to come here a lot.
You come with Sean, though, come as a teammate, and you guys are going to also be anticipated to make instant impacts. What does it do as two guys that have kind of been together, and you know what he's going to do, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year during our season in Yavapai, I mean, we had a slow start, to say the least. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we balled out. We kind of know how we work, and, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun to run it back again, because I never thought we'd be running it back again.
It seems like guys like you are becoming a little bit more common here in the game. Guys who will play the field, who will hit, who will also pitch. How important was it for you, wherever you went through your career, to get an opportunity to do all of that?
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I actually thought I wasn't ever going to get the opportunity again. At my JUCO, I threw half the season, and then they were like, "You're hitting 450. I don't think we need you to pitch," if I'm being completely honest. But I know I came here. Troop definitely helped get my career back. I mean, I haven't ever thrown this hard in my life. Consistency is there, and he makes it fun. I think that's what I was missing, definitely at JUCO. So, yeah, it's an honor.
What are you touching now?
I'm 90-91. We're getting there, for sure.
What specifically did he kind of point out with you? What would you be working on?
So specifically, like, I used to throw the ball with my thumb on the side of the ball. So when I put it under the ball, it gave me 4 miles per hour, which was just magical. I had no idea what I was doing wrong, and that was it. Something simple as that.
You know, for you as a local boy, I mean, albeit from Maui, but you know, this Friday would be your first time wearing the H on your hat and Hawaii across your chest. At the less, you know, for you to be able to come home to your home state and represent it, you know, what is that going to be like? And have you kind of had those thoughts already?
I'm going to say this. The first time I came here in the fall, it was kind of a chicken skin moment. I hadn't been here a lot, especially just because, I don't know, I kind of lost touch with this program especially. But it's just chicken skin. Every time you walk in here for practice or for individual work, it's just like, damn, I'm playing at this place, man. It's crazy. And I'm just excited for it to happen.
What's it like to come into a program where Coach Hill really stresses not results? He wants you to stress the preparation and everything like that. How is that compared to other kind of coaching styles that you've been a part of?
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of weird coming from a JUCO, because at a JUCO it's a lot more individual based. But I think at the end of the day, like, all of us want to go to a regional, and getting there, it's not individually as much as I learned at a JUCO. We made it to where we got was like 4th place in our region, I guess. But we had an All-American in Sean, and you know, it really, you have to all be bought in. That's the end goal of it, and I think we all are bought in.
What do you order the pitches?
I throw a slider and changeup.
So that helped when you shifted with the changeup?
So yeah,
the thumb placement would help.
When I was messing with the thumb placement, actually, I actually had to move it back for my slider, because I threw it from under here and it would do nothing. It would just come out like 86 miles per hour and just not move. So I moved it back to the side, just worked again. Just fidgeting around with stuff. That's what it is.
How many Maui peeps are going to be in the house this weekend?
Oh, we're talking 50, 60 people at least. Yeah. Parents bought a lot of tickets. Yeah, it's going to be a long one. A long weekend, but a fun weekend.
Where are they all staying?
That's a good question.
Yeah, hope they figured it out.
I hope they did too. For their sake.
Get here after you guys been grinding against each other for 2 months now.
I mean, it's full of excitement. The vibe in the locker room is, you can tell everyone's dial has been turned up. The focus has been turned up a lot. And everybody's just excited to start the season with this new team. And I think one thing that we try to imbue in this program is The Last Dance, you know, the Michael Jordan documentary. And so for us, this is the last chance with all these guys that we have right now. And so we're going to take full advantage from day one.
You know, you can kind of go into a season anticipating, because you've seen guys do things, but until you do it on the field, real time, is there a little bit of nervous excitement there too with that, knowing that you don't really quite know what you have until you know what you have?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, same like last year. I mean, new head coach, totally different culture of a team. And so there's a lot of nervous excitement, I guess you could say, but we're all pretty confident. We all trained very hard, and we got pretty tight. Our circle has tightened a lot since the beginning of the fall with these guys, so looking forward to that.
Coach says you're going to be pitching like everybody, but there's no where you'll be pitching and when. What does it make preparation for that? Does it make it like exciting, like every game you got to be ready because you never know when your moment's coming?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like last year prepared me pretty well. You just got to go into it not knowing exactly when you're going to be put in because the situation changes constantly. You never know when you're going to be put into the game that way. I've had my chances in a spot starts. I have my chances closing, my chances mid-game, and so it's just a matter of mentally preparing myself to be ready for any situation given.
Keep you more locked in during games because you just have no situation all the time?
To be honest, it's more so the lack of that. You know, I like to kind of not focus too hard. You know, I feel like that's mentally draining, especially when you're given that opportunity to pitch multiple times in a weekend. So I feel like for the mental game of that, you have to be able to just be more relaxed and like tight.
Would you prefer something that was like a little bit more regimented, like, all right, we know that these are going to be the guys, and this is going to be the first guy out, like, or is this tropical storm concept, is it something that works for you?
I do like that tropical storm kind of concept. I like the challenge. I like the challenge of kind of knowing what to expect. If I wasn't prepared to handle that situation, then you know what it is for me is not that bad for me. So I like the challenge.
You know, last season, you know, when you did take the mound, the music choice, you know, it made waves on social and around the fan base. For you, you know, not just part one of that question is it the same song this season? And you know, when you do take the mound, and it kind of adds kind of that juice, you kind of feel it in the stadium, right? Especially with that music going, you know, how important is that for you to know that, you know, like I'm here to like just do something and bring some juice a little bit, maybe when it's needed, right?
Absolutely, the song stays. The people will know that the song will stay. I feel like I kind of just chose it on a whim, you know. I really enjoyed the concert. I felt like it was pretty sick. But it was the fans. The fans made it so much more significant to me. And so, I mean, every now and then when I step on the mound, there's that kind of huge excitement building up within me. And so I feel like that really helps carry me over, especially in high leverage situations.
What do you think of Rich's tattoo?
Tattoo? I loved it. We had conversations before, you know, to help him kind of plan the design out. But I do like the concept. I feel like it's special for us, you know, to be a part of his life personally. So, yeah.
You don't obviously you don't know a ton about say this installment of it, but what can you kind of prepare for a new team like Wright State for this weekend?
We like to tell our guys that we're playing the game. We're not playing against a person or another team. So it's just us focusing on our game. Pitchers are going to go and pump strikes. We're going to compete as hard as we can. So you know, it doesn't matter who walks into our house because we'll have it on.
What's it like year two of Coach Hill, kind of the establishment of that culture last season? Now you have all of this, in terms of like returning players on the roster, the influx of some new faces. What's the difference between this year getting started versus last year?
I feel like Coach Hill, with this established culture of level 10 effort, energy, and all things alike, this year in particular, he kind of let his foot off the gas in terms of letting the players, the returning guys especially, to lead by example, you know, to know what we expect and what we can provide, you know, for everybody here.
You know, working with Coach Hill and pitching Coach True, how do you feel like your pitching style has evolved now going into year two, especially with Coach True?
I mean, I'd say the word that comes to mind is conviction. You know, Coach Troop is really confident in our abilities, and he wants to make us know that we should be confident in our abilities. And I feel like that has heightened everybody, from flamethrowers to crafty lefties. You know, everybody kind of has their niche now, and I feel like, and for myself, I've crafted myself more into like I'm going to dominate.
What was the pitch or pitches you found yourself working on the most or focusing on the most in the offseason?
I tried working on my weaknesses first. You know, I had a really long off season to kind of dive into a lot of things. So I decided to work on my my changeups first and foremost, but you know, that 1-2 punch or the fastball slider is definitely going to be a bread and butter.
Did you play summer ball?
I did not. I stayed back this summer, took some time off, decided to get the weight room, get stronger, get heavier, and kind of immerse myself in the community here. I'm from the Big Island, and so being able to come here and make connections here with the kids. I've worked all the English camps throughout the summer and made a lot of friends and made a lot of connections with the
Good stuff, man.
People are seeing the new jerseys. What are they going to be able to get their hands on any of the new merch this year? Or I know you say you're staying in your lanes, but that hat looks good. The jerseys look good. Is it a possibility?
Yeah, we have such, great uniforms, such great tradition, and the retro stuff is what everybody wants, right? Including me. So, I think it's available, somehow. We're moving all that Under Armour stuff, out, getting all the Adidas stuff in. So it should be available. And then different companies, throughout, Hawaii, some merchandising companies, are, producing them. So they're around. I'm just not really sure the exact, avenue how to get them.
All right.
Do you have a favorite combo yet?
Man, I just love the Kelly green and orange, man. I just love the Sheridan orange, and talking with Coach Les the other night and being a player, at San Diego State and seeing that, I love the Kelly green and orange. The more we can wear that, the better. And we've got some really cool Kelly green. I grew up an A's fan and a Giants fan too, so it's that A's Kelly green and the cool H with the script, and we'll be looking good.
I know you talk about how results are not what you want to focus on. So what is a good start in your anticipation to this season?
Well, a good start is improvement, really on a game-by-game basis, inning-by-inning basis. We're still trying to find the answers to the test. So, work in progress. So I think improvement, hitting our marks, within a game, within a weekend, that we feel are important. And those are all related to, what is controllable. And everything is about the process. The only way to that W, and we approach every game like it's a playoff game. In college baseball, the way the RPI is set up, that's just the reality of it, and that's how you'll see our pitching, kind of match up just like they do in the big leagues. It comes playoff time, it's all hands on deck, and that's how we kind of go about it too. But it's process oriented, so the wins, that's what we're all after. We understand that. That's how life is too, making that sale, getting that W. The world, looks at winners differently than losers. Our guys need to understand that, man. There's no participation trophy, in life. And when we start to train for that, okay, we get it that the only way to that championship, that big sale, whatever that goal is through the process. So all of our attention goes to that.
You talk about the process, but just being able to, open the season here at home and get the fans out again. How exciting is that? Obviously, for you and for this team who has been going at it with each other, right, for fall ball and these practices. Now to be able to see a different color jersey across from them in the other dugout. What is that level of excitement like right now?
To me, that's the best thing. Like I said, I'm a California boy standing in that box, listening to 4,000 people, at one of those games. Let's go, Bows! I got chicken skin now. So the fans of Hawaii, the passion for baseball here in the state of Hawaii, it's just unmatched, and that is what I'm really looking forward to. Right along with that is the chance to compete, with these boys, and get out there and really start to rumble a little bit. And you're right, it's a long time, since we've seen a different color jersey in the other dugout, and I know our guys are frothing to get into some competition and kind of tee it up against another opponent.
And what do you make of Wright State, and just to make that team this year? Obviously last year had some success, but what do you see from them as they come into town this weekend?
Well, they're a perennial winner in the Horizon League. It seems like they always win that league. They've been to the NCAA tournament 5 out of the last 7 or 8 years. They have some tough kids, and when our fans walk in here and see them, it seems like every guy is 6'5", and the shirts are rolled up, and they take great at bats. I mean, they grip it and rip it, and on the mound they got some power, But I guarantee you, every one of them is going to be excited to be in 70-degree plus weather, out of the gym, not looking at snow every day of their life, and they're going to be fired up. It's a great opponent, because they're tough to beat. They're going to go back into the Horizon League and really put up a good one-loss record, and that's really the key to RPI. So it's a great team for us to play.
I know it's a tropical storm. You kind of want to take, pitchers, take it hitter by hitter. Have you kind of just figured out who you want to start the ball first?
I think Harry Gustin, is at the top of the list. We haven't made a definitive decision, but that's the guy who has really earned it, in fall practice in January. He's got tremendous stuff. He's developed a couple secondary pitches which really separate him, I think. How long he can go at the start of the season is to be determined, but he gives us a shot to get through their lineup once or twice, better than anybody at this point.
You guys finished the season strong last year with 20-8 to close, but you pointed out some things that you wanted to address in the offseason in terms of recruiting. What happens out on the field under the game lights, you can never really predict, but how satisfied are you that you at least addressed the things that you set out to?
Well, I can't get over, you just said we were 20-8 to finish the season?
I think so, right? Isn't that right?
I didn't even know that, man. That's a tribute to, our coaches and players, what an amazing year that was. To build on that, in our blueprint, we wanted to add more depth. We wanted to add competition on a daily basis. I coached with Jim Harbaugh, which he doesn't believe in, the depth chart, and I thought that's kind of cool. So, it's that depth competition to jump up the schedule a little bit, put ourselves in position for that at-large bid, and start thinking that way a little bit, and I think we've accomplished those things, in fall baseball. We wanted to be better, righty-lefty combinations, be stronger on the mound, and I always want to be older in the Big West. Those Big West teams, that win are usually older, and with the portal and who we are at University of Hawaii, we have an opportunity to do that.
Talking about a couple of those transfers, is Sean and Ben coming in. What do they bring to you, and the fact they're coming from JUCO and also hopefully going to be instant impact guys for you?
Yeah, like I said, local boy Ben Zeigler-Namoa, he gives us, a couple. He's kind of a dual threat, on the mound, at the plate. Very good defender, great energy. He's the guy you're going to hear all game long. Sean Rimmer, 18 home runs in community college. Randy Abshire, key piece of that Arizona Wildcat team that went to the College World Series. Arguably, he was the guy out of the pen, in the later half of that year. So guys like that have really just injected, some energy and some things we didn't really have in terms of power, and then the power left-handed arm. So we're excited about our newcomers.
And when you came into this, where you are now compared to what you thought you would be year two?
Man, I haven't had a chance to step back and reflect. It's been just kind of head down and go for it. Stick with the blueprint. Last year, our plan worked. And it was awesome to see. Everything we did just kind of clicked. I've been on the other side of that as well. So in recruiting, we wanted to create more depth. We did. We wanted to create better matchups, against left-handed pitchers, right-handed pitchers. I think that we did. The key question is, how will some of those newcomers respond to Division I pitching? and in this environment. So we're an older team, especially on the position player side. I think we're going to be older in next year as well. So you can have a vision, but it all changes when we put the costumes on.
You mentioned Harry potentially being one of those guys, either opening night or around there. He got hurt on the road, tough injury last year. I don't know if transformation's the right word, but what can you say about his growth from that point? I know you saw a lot of the what could be with him last year. Talk about his growth going into this year.
Well, he comes from a baseball family. He's the youngest. So, I mean, he's been, beaten up, shoved around by the older siblings his whole life. And he's got a toughness about him, that I love. It's been tough for him to put on weight, stay healthy, that kind of way. But, when you see him, I had one scout say, he reminds him, and this is of Ron Guidry, and I mean, that's a pretty good comparison, but he's kind of short in stature and he's got that whippy left-handed arm, kind of rocks a little bit. And the secondary stuff, though, I think, Josh, that's where he's really grown, is that he's developed, that change-up and curveball that really have to set you apart in Division I baseball, especially on the West Coast.